What's going on, guys? Chill FM here, taking a look at what might be the strongest team for the Summer Cup in the Ultra League with Zapdos as a closer. Guys, Zapdos is a phenomenal closer. Gets to the Drill Pecks and the Thunderbolts so quickly, and there's a ton of water types that the Thunderbolt is going to basically one-shot, and there's a lot of grass types and Verizon specifically, which Drill Peck is going to be hitting for double super effective into. So you can get an energy advantage with Zapdos or a shield advantage with Zapdos. It can go absolutely crazy. It can also answer for the safe swaps that are the water types, like, for example, this Tentacruel. I had to bait once. To be honest, but that's about it. We're going to be able to keep alignment here because the Zapdos is just that spammy. And even though the poison jabs are doing a lot, we're just going to get to this Thunderbolt and even leave with a little bit of residual energy. So, talk about the other two. Verizon on the lead. It does have some hard counters, right? It's very weak to flyers, but it has Stone Edge for a coverage move. So if you can lose the lead, swap out, double kick something down, you can Stone Edge, and then, you know, you're going to grab a shield with it at very least. Tentacruel on the safe swap. There's nothing that really hard counters Tentacruel besides Jellicent, and I've only seen a couple Jellicent. So I'm running my Hundo Tentacruel. If you have an XL1, of course, that's better. But you can see why you run Sludge Wave right there, because it just hits so hard. This Ampharos thinks that it's countering my Tentacruel. No, I just have to shield once. We should even still survive a Thunder Punch if they are running Thunder Punch, but they threw Brutal Swing, so we don't even have to worry about it. Brutal Swing is going to come through, and we're just going to Poison Jab down. Easy. Flip switch with a water type up against a electric type. It's beautiful. Ursaluna comes in. Somebody trying out the new Ursaluna. It does have Ice Punch now. Which honestly is pretty interesting to me. I'm going to actually look into this thing. I'm going to look into this thing because this Ice Punch does hit pretty hard. I'm going to go ahead and let it go just to be sure if they even have it. And they do. And it looks like it's going to two-shot. They do try to catch on Pidgeot. I was expecting to catch, so I am going to come in with Zapdos. And the really nice thing about the non-shadow is I definitely don't have to respect this Brave Bird. Not even a little bit. So I can go ahead and farm up to the back-to-back Drill Pecks. I am going to go ahead and throw. I could have farmed over by one more and still prevented the CMP, and if I needed to use the shield then, whatever. But Ursaluna is going to come back in now. First Drill Peck does not KO, and they're definitely not going to ever get Thundershock down since they are part ground type. But I do make it to this next Drill Peck, and that's going to be easy because I still have a shield. And showed up the first Ice Punch that this Ursaluna throws, if they even have to, and I can throw my Sacred Sword on CMP. So just going to safely shield this up, and hopefully my button activated, and yes, it did. So yeah, I thought about no bubbling, but then I was like, well, maybe not. What if this thing's not as glassy as I think? So that's going to be GG's. Well played. Jumping into the next battle. By the way, these are around the 2100 elo range up to 2200. I guess I didn't mention the day that I had with this team. I went 21-4. 21-4 with this team. So I didn't have my elo in the first sets, and I know it was probably a little bit low for me. Normally my starting elo is like upper 2100s, low 2200s. So I started with it at 2106, I believe. So I was definitely like below when I was playing these first battles, but continued to climb even into the day with a 5-0. So yeah, I mean, a lot of success with this team. I do recommend it. And my legendaries are not, none of these are good IVs. None of them. They're all trash. So whatever you have, like it should work. You can see how much the Skull did to the Swampert there. They were forced to throw energy, and now I come in with Verizon. I'm going to throw the Sacred Sword before they make it to a Hydro Cannon, because I'm at 100 anyways, might as well. They do actually make it to the Hydro, just barely with like a sliver of health, but that's fine. It's just a Hydro. Some Swamperts are running Sludge Wave, so do be aware of that. I'm going to hard swap out because this Chestnaught, we completely wall it with Zapdos, right? It's not like Verizon where they have Stone Edge. Everything's resisted unless they're running Smackdown. We're going to come out with a Galvantula. It's not a great matchup for Zapdos because Drill Peck does only hit for neutral, but it's still 2. They are going to end up shielding the first one. I'm going to put it all on Verizon at this point. They lunge me. That's perfectly fine by me because that just means I make it to this Drill Peck, which guarantees the Stone Edge from Verizon will KO this Galvantula. So I'm just going to go straight for the Stone Edge. No reason to bait here because I'm going to be able to outpace the 2, right? I should just be one double kick away from the next Stone Edge. Or no, actually was not. Actually was not. So I would not have outpaced. I thought I would. And that's the reason I waited for it, but it worked out. They no-showed it anyways. So here comes the Frenzy Plant. That was a very obvious Frenzy Plant, but at the same time, I have 2 shields. I'm going to easily outpace to 3 Sacred Swords. That's what I'm going to need to take out this Chestnaught. So here comes the second Sacred Sword, making sure that I'm always throwing at good timing, right? But I'm just 1 double kick away from the next one. And that's going to be planned to take out the Chestnaught before they're at double superpower. I think even like the debuffed superpower, 1 debuffed superpower probably wouldn't even KO. So they were going to have to bait again with Frenzy and then land a superpower. So anyways, GG's. Well played. All right, Virizion into Charizard. So we get to see a flyer lead here. Definitely want to swap out of all flyer leads because of the flying type attacks do double super effective to Virizion. I'm going to come in with Tentacruel. They're actually staying in to chip and dip because they want to try to keep alignment. Makes sense. I respect it. We're going to come in with a Greedent. And you're going to see how much work Tentacruel can do just with that energy advantage. Gold comes through, we get the attack drop. Attack drop didn't matter too much right here because no matter what, they were going to need 2 moves to KO us. They're still going to need 2 moves to KO us. I go for the Scald there because I was more worried about throwing up proper timing versus getting the Sludge Wave off. But honestly, I think I should have just not thrown. And if I ended up having to throw like on alignment at their second body slam, then yeah, just get that Sludge Wave off. I probably could have flip switch. It's all right though. We're going to come in, we're going to double kick down, we're going to leave with some energy on Virizion. I am going to still swap out here because I didn't remember if that Charizard left with energy. I didn't want them to be able to blast burn me. In the back, they have a Virizion. Here we go, Zapdos core breaking. Hero Pack from regular Zapdos does not one-shot Virizion. From Shadow, it does. I thought that it didn't, and I no-showed my Virizion in a practice battle. Luckily, it was a practice battle before I actually tried my sets. And yeah, it does one-shot a regular Virizion. But you can see how much it does from the, from a Shadow is what I mean. But you can see how much the regular Zapdos does. It nearly takes them out. We're going to be able to Thunder Shock down after shielding the Stone Edge and win the 2 shields that way. Now comes the Charizard. Charizard not known for its bulk. Just going to throw the Drill Peck here. I'm actually going to go for the catch here. Reason being, if they undercharge, I make it to the Stone Edge. If they full charge, I just make it to the Thunderbolt, which guarantees the KO. So they actually undercharge here. That's perfectly fine. We're just going to make it to the Stone Edge. This will easily take out the Charizard. Double super effective. That's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was an undercharge, which like that was their only hope, to be honest. But it just wasn't going to happen. All right, Roserade lead. Not really something Virizion wants to see, so we will be swapping out and luring out their Zapdos. Now, Tentacruel's nice and bulky. We saw this matchup from the other perspective. I'm going to go for the Scald. A lot of people are running poison, acid spray. So I was thinking maybe the opponent would go ahead and no-shield that, and then I'd be able to farm down. I'm going to try to flip switch. I make a misplay. I should not have thrown this Scald. I knew it was CMP, and I still threw it. So now you see me no bubbling it because I'm like, I want to get some farm off this thing. They end up throwing shield anyways. We do get the attack drop, but they're just going to outpace still. So I end up catching the next Thunderbolt on my Virizion, which this is resisted damage. And it's fine that the Roserade's going to come back in. They're going to throw a Fire Weather Ball, and I thought it would be enough to take me out, but Virizion's just so bulky. We actually barely survive it, and we're going to be able to get this Stone Edge off. The Stone Edge is going to do a ton to Roserade. I think Roserade is a good pick in this meta, by the way, but it does lack bulk, so you got to be aware of it. Now, the Stone Edge doesn't do a lot for me because I would still need a Drill Peck from Zapdos. So I'm actually going to come in with Tentacruel. I'm going to go ahead and unload the Scald. I could have done a couple Poison Jabs because they were only at the Fire Weather Ball. They weren't at the Leaf Storm. After I threw it, I was like, man, I'm playing this battle I was playing poorly. There was a few battles today I played poorly. I could have gone 22-3. I played one battle like absolutely trash. The other 3 battles I probably just lost because of alignment, right? This one we're still going to pull off though because we did watch for the catch there. At this point we can just Thunderbolt the Pidgeot. Zapdos does win CMP against Pidgeot. So that was the GG's. Well played. Alright, Stoutland. I was expecting Lick, so I stay in here And it's Ice Fang. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm hitting them for super effective. I'm going to outpace them. If I go ahead and I throw the Sacred Sword, I know Stoutland has Wild Charge. I still bring in Tentacruel because I know these Ice Fangs are resisted. And I knew by the time they got to the Wild Charge, they're going to be super low. And they are. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this up. They're going to come out with the Ampharos now. Again, this is why we have Sludge. Sludge Wave is going to hit very hard. Most people still do not respect the Sludge Wave. Puts them into the yellow. A couple more poison jabs. They're in the red. They're just going to have to dump it in, right? They can... I'm going to give them Witch here because Witch isn't that important to me. The Stoutland's pretty much dead, so it's kind of Virizion plus Zapdos versus whatever's in the back. And they have Stoutland more or less for a catch. Like, it might get to a move if I try to Thunder Shock it down or something. And I actually do stay in. I throw a few extra Thunder Shocks just to get ahead on energy. And then I swap out to Virizion. I do get the farm down. And here comes a Venusaur. So, Venusaur, not really something Virizion loves to see. We're going to go for the Stone Edge. It does do a little bit less than half. After the double kicks, close to half. They're going to throw the Frenzy Plant here, which if I was in their shoes, I probably would have done the same because my Virizion was pretty low. Frenzy Plant hits very hard, but it's just not enough. Virizion's too bulky. We actually make it to another Stone Edge. We do grab a shield there. I should have baited because it looks like I would have made it to a Sacred Sword and then the Stone Edge, but it's fine. I didn't know if I would. I didn't want to see it. At this point, I do have to call bait. They have enough energy to get to 2 moves. I don't think they get to double Sludge Bombs, and I was really counting on it. Because if they do bait with the Frenzy Plant, I'm going to go for the Drill Peck here, and another Drill Peck on CMP. They're going to, of course, throw just another Frenzy here, but it doesn't matter, because we got the Drill Peck ready to go. This will be taking out the Venusaur, and that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. All right, let's go. Very cool team, though. Very cool team by my opponent. All right. Venusaur in the lead this time. So, again, Virizion doesn't love it. We're going to swap out. And what do you know? It's another Shadow Ampharos. Or I guess this is the first Shadow one. We've been seeing a lot of the regular ones. So, I'm going to go ahead and no-shield this Thunder Punch, right? They do outpace. We're going to play out the zeros. We're going to go straight for the Sludge Wave. Yes, I could go for the Scald. I could look for an attack drop, but it's not going to KO. And the Sludge Wave does. Yeah, nobody respecting it for now. If you're watching this video 3-4 days after it's posted and we're that far into the battles or into this cup, then yeah, people are probably going to be respecting. Anyways, I get the Scald off against the Venusaur, which I thought was going to be kind of useless, but actually pretty useful because we do get the attack drop. And now the Sludge Wave or Sludge Bomb does less than 50%. Out comes Snorlax. I do overfarm just a little bit. I come in with Virizion. Very good answer to Snorlax. All right, the body slams are just going to do a little bit of chip damage. The Sacred Swords are going to do a ton to Snorlax. Snorlax, honestly, not as bulky as you think it is in the Ultra League. I think, like, back in Season 2, when there wasn't Excel Pokemon, then yeah, Snorlax felt real bulky. Nowadays, not that bulky. 2 Sacred Swords take it out. Definitely could have overfarmed against it, but Venusaur comes in, they throw immediately. It is the Sludge Bomb, which will be taking out my Virizion. That's perfectly fine. All I have to do is make it to 3 Drill Pecks before they make it to 3 Frenzy Plants, and I already have an energy lead. I already have back-to-backs, right? I only need 5 more Thunder Shocks to get to the 3rd Drill Peck. Drill Peck is 5, then 4, then 5. So, yeah, the second one comes quicker. Third one is just normal timing. So I'm actually 1 short here, but I was kind of just bluffing. I was like, yeah, they'll probably think I'm at the back-to-backs, and they do. I don't think they were anywhere close to their 3rd Frenzy Plant anyway, so GG. Well played. All right, Electivire lead. Shadow Electivire. This is actually a really cool pick in this meta because of it does have Ice Punch, which is going to hit all the grass types for super effective. However, the Thunder Shocks are doing basically nothing. So we can go ahead and tank 1 Ice Punch. They're going to be swapping out, yeah, opponent running some spice, some real spice here. Shadow Eggs. I know this is only a Seed Bomb, but the confusions are doing so much, I have to shield it. I actually have to shield that. I'm going to overfarm by a little bit. I'm going to be going for the Drill Peck here if they want to give up a shield, and they do. This is interesting to me. I'm like, is this thing actually kind of a good safe swap just because the fast move pressure? We're going to grab both shields. and my opponent actually gets greedy. We barely make it to this next drill pack. Again, it's because that second one comes quicker. So we're able to get to the third one, and we do maintain alignment here, which is absolutely massive. Because now I can come back in with Virizion. I should have actually just blind thrown the Stone Edge. I didn't think it was going to be enough, but after I see how much the Sacred Sword does, I know the Stone Edge would have been enough. I know it would have, because this Sacred Sword puts them deep into the red. And double kick downrange, and in the back it's Primarina. And this game is just over, especially since they're running well, I guess it doesn't matter. Waterfall, Charm, doesn't matter. We're gonna go ahead and Sludge Wave. It's probably unnecessary. Probably could just Scald and Poison Jab down before they get to the Psychic. But either way, GG's. Well played to my opponent. That's gonna be it for today's video. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below. Yeah, so there you can see, almost at 2200. I will be live. Oh, I'll probably be live before this goes live. Well, if you're a member and you're seeing this a day early, I'll be live tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to my channel members for your support. And until next time, this is Trust FM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.